Myles had no time to catch Specialist Heights, so he body-checked her away from the sinkhole and was forced to pinwheel his arms to avoid falling in himself. Myles and Lord Teddy righted themselves at roughly the same time. Lord Teddy's cool head had increased in temperature, as it were, so that now he was entirely hot-headed and had reverted to his previous plan of blowing Myles Fowl and his darned coterie to hell, or at least wiping them off the face of the earth. Myles, for his part, could not think of a single thing to do other than not give this monster of a man the satisfaction of begging for his life. His comrades had bought him every second of time that could be reasonably expected of them, and now he had to accept these facts. 1, his plan had not worked, and 2, sometimes being a genius would not get the job done if a person made bad choices. Lord Teddy steadied himself on his hovering platform. His face was blazing with rage, and his foot was also ablaze with second-degree burns. Any slightly comedic aspect his appearance may have presented mere seconds ago had completely vanished. Now the Duke was bloody-minded and prepared for war, and his thunderous expression reflected as much. "Light up the target," he told his remaining electronic soldiers, and dozens of red laser dots covered Myles from the top of his head to the tips of his toes. Among the red lasers, there was one green dot. Myles saw the dot, and his relief was so powerful that for a moment his legs shook. He was unaccustomed to this emotion, as his plans usually proceeded without a hitch, and so his relief muscle was rarely exercised. In fact, the last time he could remember feeling anything even remotely close to this level of relief was when he solved the notorious Bremen 2-year crossword in 14 minutes, beating Artemis's record by 38 seconds. Myles realized in this moment that there were things slightly more important than besting his elder brother in newspaper puzzles. "Well now," he said to the green light, which blinked from the undercarriage of a battle drone, "I am truly delighted to see you." Lord Teddy had, in fact, also spotted the green light, which appeared as a dot precisely in the centre of Myles's forehead. But the Duke took it for a glitch, and certainly not one worth conversing with. "I am delighted to see you too, my dear boy," he said, mistakenly believing that Myles was addressing him. "But I shall be ecstatic to see the back of you." And once again the Duke of Scilly executed the fire-all command, this time carefully executing his swipe in spite of his mood. And nothing happened. Well, to be accurate, something did happen, just not what the Duke expected to happen. Lord Teddy expected a salvo of concentrated laser beams, explosive projectiles of various calibers, arrowheads, and even low-yield missiles to utterly obliterate the fowl spawn and all their allies. Troll be damned. But instead, a single one of his drones executed its fire command, and that little fellow was wildly off-target, only managing to singe the tail feathers of an innocent seagull passing overhead. As a result, that seagull could reasonably have been expected to abandon any dreams he might have nurtured to become the alpha gull in his flock. On the contrary, the bird, whose name phonetically was Kruakaka, learned to use his newfound erratic flying style as an avian martial art and became the most powerful gull in all of Cornwall, eventually uniting the southern counties. But back to our story. One by one, Lord Teddy's drones switched their target beams from red to green. This took a few seconds, and while the Duke looked around at his army in consternation, Myles used the time to smooth his tie and check on the hairdryer's progress. He knelt beside the bubbling cellophane. "Are you comfortable in there, brother?" "Yep," said Beckett. "Sleeping a bit. Me and Whistleblower are having the same dream about an emperor seagull." Myles remembered that there was a dash of sedative in the cellophane mix. It made sense to keep one's captives subdued. That was certainly what he himself would do. Beck and Whistleblur should be fine, as long as he could extricate them from their cocoon post-haste.